Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're tuning into AMTV, Alternative Media Television. Please click the link below, support our sponsor, Powerful Signal. Check them out right now. Click that link below, support them, support us. So, I just wanted to kind of reemphasize today that we are in an inflationary debt collapse here in the United States. This is what the stock market is showing us. This is what housing is showing us. In fact, a Nobel, was it a Nobel Prize? One of those guys, yeah, Robert Shiller, the Case Shiller Index. I guess he's like the second guy on the totem pole because his name's second in line. Well, anyways, Mr. Shiller actually says that we're in a bubble. He says that financials and technology are overvalued. This is the guy that is responsible for the real estate index that showed the massive parabolic move upward in pre-2008 that resulted in the mother of all crashes. You remember that little period there that was, fearmongered to us as being, worse than 1929. It actually was. And we're actually living through a depression now, but we can't see it because it's an illusion created by the Federal Reserve. Hence, we're living in an inflationary debt collapse, which is the reason for this video. So basically, prices are just kind of hitting the stratosphere again. It's interesting if you look at these charts. You look at a place like Phoenix, and you'll see a parabolic move right up to 2008, a crash, and then now another parabolic move up from the low to a new high. And people tell me that the markets, have somehow stabilized, that things are just going to work themselves out. Contrary, if you look at other states or other cities like Dallas, for example, you actually see a much more friendlier average. And everything reverts back to the mean. Everything reverts back to the average. That's why when you have these parabolic moves, which is what we've had in our stock markets recently over the past 5 years now since quantitative easing began and has never ended because they have no intention of ever ending quantitative easing because they can't, because if they do, the Ponzi scheme and the cards just collapse all at once. Interest rates skyrocket and the economy, manifests its worst evil desire. The United States can't support its consumerism culture anymore. So it really is concerning. I think a great majority or a increasing minority, let's say, are increasingly awake of just how dangerous this thing is. And it's not just coming from people like me, people that actually got it right. Pre-2008, actually told clients to get out of the stock market and were laughed at since those people lost, lots and lots and lots of money. People like Mr. Shiller here. I don't know if he called 2008, but he's pretty much calling it now. People like Peter Schiff that are still laughed at, even though they called the crash. Have written books about it, etc. Told us that we're getting ahead of ourselves and that this is just funny money and that you should go back to tangible assets like gold and silver, things that actually hold real worth. Things that actually have a history of 4,000 years and aren't just created out of thin air. So I guess what I'm trying to say with this video is be very wary of where we're headed. We could very likely be in a situation in the next few months where, hey, maybe the Dow goes to 30,000. In fact, I'm kind of cheering it on. I'd like to see it go to 30,000, maybe double, triple, quadruple, because it would get to the point where people would start to realize, because they can't buy their goods and services at the store, bread, milk, those kinds of things, that it's actually an inflationary debt collapse. So we're being inflated into infinity. And that in and of itself would create a run on the dollar. So any way they really move, whether or not they keep more inflation going and they keep the markets rising, creates a bigger bubble, and then hence will create a bigger pop whenever that happens. They either do that or they turn the spigot off of debt and quantitative easing and 0% interest rates, and the nation collapses that way. So no matter what they do, whatever the Federal Reserve does, is ending in the same result. We're going to get the same conclusion. The only thing that the Fed might be doing right now is simply just buying a little bit more time. And I suggest you use that time to your advantage. I suggest you use that time to prepare your family, to prepare your finances, to prepare yourself spiritually for what's to come, and to honestly get yourself right with everything that you need to do. Get it out there, support our sponsor, click the link, Powerful Signal. I'm Christopher Green, hard hitting and in your face.